Who was Medusa? Depending on your perspective, she may be a Gorgon, a monster, or a symbol of black girl magic. Today we're breaking down how this iconic figure has been portrayed as a black woman with locks, exploring the narratives that reclaim her image and significance. Let's start with the basics. Who was Medusa? According to Greek mythology, Medusa was one of the three Gorgon sisters, alongside Stheno and Euryale, but she was the only mortal among them. Her parents were the sea deities Phorcys and Ceto, and she was originally described as a beautiful woman, not a monster. However, after an encounter with Poseidon in Athena's temple, which led Athena to curse her with a monstrous form, Medusa became known as a creature with a horrifying visage and snakes for hair. Now let's talk about why some scholars and storytellers suggest that Medusa may have originated from African lore. In Medusa, was this myth the true story of an African woman? The video explores how Medusa could have been inspired by a real African queen or priestess, possibly from Libya or Tunisia, whose hair resembled serpents or locks, and whose gaze, rather than being a symbol of monstrosity, symbolized spiritual power. But why is it important to consider Medusa's African origins? By highlighting these connections, we challenge the dominant Eurocentric narrative of Greek mythology and acknowledge the contributions of African cultures to shaping these ancient tales. Furthermore, it allows us to reclaim the narrative and symbolism surrounding Medusa's appearance. In the past, my channel has explained how the depiction of Medusa, is hair as snakes or serpents, is a potent symbol of African sacred locks, also known as locks or dabs. These terms hold deep cultural significance within Rastafarian communities and other African spiritual traditions. But the word dreadlocks carries colonial baggage. In fact, the term dreadlocks was coined by British colonizers to instill fear. So when talking about our own hair, we use words like locks, a term favored by Rastafarians and African spiritualists, to emphasize their sacred, divine, and ancestral roots. This brings us to modern Afrocentric retellings of the Medusa myth. Was the original Medusa an African goddess? The series presents Medusa as a beautiful African woman, with locks whose power was feared and misunderstood by patriarchal systems. This challenges the traditional portrayal of Medusa as a monster and emphasizes her humanity and power. Additionally, it highlights how Medusa's story reflects broader themes of colonization, gender roles, and societal expectations placed upon women. The idea that Medusa's snake-like hair could be interpreted as protective, powerful, and spiritual is further explored in The Real Story of Medusa is Complicated, Myth Conceptions. This video encourages viewers to confront their own biases and preconceptions when encountering figures like Medusa, and to consider how her image has been distorted over time. By examining the historical context and cultural baggage associated with Medusa's appearance, we gain a deeper understanding of the complexities surrounding her representation in art, literature, and popular culture. So whether you're diving into Greek mythology or simply appreciating the symbolism of black hair, Medusa's story offers a compelling lens through which to examine these themes.